Hey guys, it's Ree. What's up? I hope you're good. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a new video. This is gonna be what I read in January because somehow January is already over. I read 7 full books and started 2. So, we're gonna get into it. So, for nearly the whole month, I've been listening to Jane Eyre by Emily Bronte, and I'm listening to it because of a reading vlog I've been filming for over a year that I really want to get done with, after a whole year, but I'm not loving it. So Jane Eyre is a classic about our main character, Jane Eyre, and her life story about her aunt who treated her badly, and then her time in a orphan school, and then being a governess for Mr. Rochester, who is a wealthy man, and then like the love story between her and Rochester. Now, you're supposed to root for them, right? Because you want them to be together. I have never wanted a love interest to die so much as I do Rochester. I don't like this man. Okay, he's not it. He's being a bitch to her, and she's like, and like, I do love morally gray men, but he's just a bitch. He's not morally gray. He's just not it for me. Anyways, let's get into physical books before the rant goes even farther. So, first book I finished this year was The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I'm currently filming a reading vlog for like books I gave 5-star to in 2023, and this was one of them. This was my 3rd time reading it. The first time I read it, I gave it a 5-star. This time I gave it a 4.5. Still really liked it. Honestly, any Christina Lauren book, it makes me happy. I love them. So this is about Olive, who is used to being the unlucky twin sister, the one who never gets anything. And at the start of this book, she lost her job. But her twin sister is getting married. So, she goes to her sister's wedding. The thing is, she knows at this wedding there's going to be her nemesis, Ethan Thomas. Now, Ethan is the groom's brother. So, of course, he's going to be at this wedding. The wedding goes to shit. If you know, that's a very funny pun for me, okay? The wedding goes to shit when something goes wrong with the buffet. Now, Olive and Ethan were the only 2 who did not eat at said buffet. So, when Olive's twin sister is giving away her free honeymoon to her sister, well, her husband is doing the same to his brother. Which means that now Olive and her sweet nemesis, Ethan, are going on a honeymoon together. And on that honeymoon, they have to pretend to be, newlyweds. And there's forced proximity. There is fake dating-ish. It is very good, very sweet. There is a 3rd act breakup, but if you know Christina Lauren, there's some in all of her books. And I really like Christina Lauren's, I really like their book structures, so yeah. Now, the book I wanted to start the year with is one of my 3 favorite books. I think it's my 2nd favorite book ever. Y'all are gonna judge me for it, but this motherfucker. Den of Motherfucking Vipers by K.A. Knight. Now, a lot of 1-star reviews on Goodreads are like, oh, this is not good, it's just cover to cover smut. But like, yeah. And that's fucking nice. If you can see all of the tabs at the top are all of the smut scenes, and it's a lot, okay? But I love this book so fucking much. So Den of Vipers is about our main character Roxy, whose father was very indebted to the Vipers, who is basically the mafia of the city. And so to right his debt, he sells them his daughter, who he hasn't seen in years, honestly. Roxy is quite badass, but she's very like a not like the other girls character. But once you get over that, you like her. Who are the Vipers besides being mafia? Well, the Vipers are Ryder, Garrett, Kenzo, and Diesel. Ryder is like the front man. Everyone think he's the boss. He is a businessman. And then we have Kenzo, who is his little brother, and he is the money guy, the gambling man, if I can say it that way. Then we have Garrett, who is the enforcer. He used to be a boxer, very, very much into the fight. And then we have Diesel, who is basically the torturer and assassin. He is also a psycho, a crazy bitch, and I love him so much. So it's a very spicy 600-page book. One of my 3 favorite books. I love it so fucking much. I feel like every time I read it, I have a different favorite. First time I read it, I fucking loved Kenzo. I fell head over heel for him. Then, second time I read it, Ryder was my baby. This time, Diesel. He's unhinged. And honestly, I've read it 3 years in a row, and my life is... I think you can tell how my life is going by who my favorite is. Now, with each boy, you get different kinks. With Ryder, you get dumb sub, praise, and some degradation with some impact play a little bit. Then with Kenzo, you get some public. You get some dubious consent / CNC. With Diesel, I'm gonna keep Diesel for last because motherfucker is unhinged. With Garrett, you get some very, very like hard sex and bondage. And with Diesel, you get a lot. You get, tying her up. Okay, cool. You get gunplay, you get knife play, you get blood play, wax play is in there. You get a lot with him. And we also have a couple of group scenes. Anyways, I love this book with all my heart. And I already want to reread it. Because as I said, one of my favorites. Then I did another reread again for the 5-star thing. And I gave it a 5-star again. This is The Sweetest Oblivion by Daniel Lorry. So, our main character is Elena, who is a mafia. This is a mafia romance. Let's start that way. So, she's the daughter of a Don and is not fit for marriage for reasons we learned in the book. And so, who is into an arranged marriage but her younger sister. Now, her younger sister also becomes quite unfit for marriage. So, Elena is the one getting married instead of her. This is a kind of enemy to lovers arranged marriage. And I fucking love this. Also, Nico is like one of those mean to everyone except her kind of dude. So, really like it. Next, I read 2 books by Lauren Blakely, and they are both in the My Hockey Romance series. I read the first 2, basically. First is Double Pucked, They are both two guys, one girl thing. So Double Puck is about our main character, Trina, who, after she learns her boyfriend cheated on her, she left the apartment they lived in together with a few of her belongings, her dog, and his most prized possession, which are 2 VIP tickets to a hockey game where he could meet his 2 favorite hockey players. Now, she gets that, and she ends up flirting with the guys, and they end up having a threesome. Our 2 dudes in here are Chase and Riker. Riker is the big bad guy that everyone are like, oh shit, like he has an attitude. And Chase is a ray of sunshine. We love Chase. And yeah, honestly, quite good. Gave it a 4.5. Now, the second book in that series is Puck, Yes, which is about Riker's little sister, actually. At some point, Riker and his sister are talking, and they're like, what was in the water we were drinking as kids? Like, I love how they acknowledge that, like, yeah, the siblings have the same fucking relationship at this point. So, this is about Ivy, who is a fashion influencer, kind of. And after learning that her ex left her for her boss, she quits her job. But, you know, she needs a quick job while her influencer career is shooting up. And she becomes a mascot for the Avengers, which is the hockey team her brother used to be on. The 2 dudes in here are Ace, which is the new guy in the team, and Stefan, who is the team captain. One night in Vegas, Ace is dared to get married in Vegas because he's a new guy, and so Ace and Ivy get married. And now this relationship starts between her and her now husband and Stefan, and they have a threesome that night of her wedding. The next morning, trying to get an annulment, they get stopped by the owner of the team, who's like, oh, that's so good, that's so nice. So they don't get that annulment, you know? And so, yeah, their relationship just evolves. And something I like is how she said, oh yeah, like there is my public husband and my secret boyfriend. And like they're both as like important to me. Like, it's just very sweet. I also gave this one a 4.5 out of 5. Next, I read a trilogy. So I read the 2 first, and I started the 3rd one in January. So this is the Binding Chronicles, Tethered, Tormented, and Treasured. And they are by Elena Argalia. Now, Tethered is about a human girl who is sold into marriage to the vampire prince, also known as the Prince of Darkness, so, you know. But something goes wrong in that wedding. The priest who is, you know, doing their little wedding ends up tethering them together, which means they can't go over 30 feet from each other. So we have some forced proximity with the arranged marriage in here. Something I like is that all the books were like a different facet of that universe. So book 1, which I gave a 5-star to, was really like the love story and them getting to know each other. Book 2, we had some trials. And book 3, we had like prepping for a battle and the big battle. And so because of that, the first one was my favorite. But I gave the 2 and 3 4.5 out of 5. Sebastian, our vampire love interest, he falls first and he falls harder. He is a simp for her. Like, he's like, even if he wasn't in love with her, like at the start, he was like, yeah, that's my wife, I'd do anything for her because it's my wife. Because of like ego and pride and honor. But then he develops feeling for her and he's like, oh yeah. Oh my God, I don't remember the quote for word for it, but it's like, she is the ray of sunshine in my dark life. She is like my reason to live, and he's just such a simp, and I love him so much for it. I think I can find it. I think it was in the second book. I have another quote than the one I wanted to share, but that's her like talking about him. But Sebastian was my life, my world. Every breath I took, every word I spoke, everything I did was for him, because he was mine. I would protect Luna with my life. The binding between us meant if the weaker of our pair died, the other would likely survive the physical severing of our connection. But that meant very little. Life wouldn't be worth living without her. And later we have, I was proud to call her my wife. He's a simp, and I fucking love it. She was mine. Mine to care for, mine to love, mine to protect. So I can't find the exact quote I was looking for, but you can tell by what I told you, that he is a simp, and I fucking love him. He is chef kiss, amazing. Anyways, this is what I read in January. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!